Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz from the trenches with Kaz, and I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty excited. We've got a great stream for you tonight. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be fun. But what's it all about? It's going to be showing you a whole bunch of videos that people have come together, motivation, jubilation, happiness, and the left's version of what's going on as well. In the, I believe, one of the most epic events ever, the snatching of Nicholas Maduro, a unqualified, corrupt motherfucker in Venezuela that has been keeping everything from those that aren't in his inner circle, so to speak, in Venezuela, which is basically the brother of Colombia. I've got some interesting facts we'll talk about here. So there's some beautiful things about Venezuela. The sad thing is you're not allowed to visit, but we'll talk about that. What we've got is Dave D. Stand fast. Okay, and he says, "G'day, legends," or should I say, "Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás? Mi nombre es el Tigre, Sargento Tigre." To all our Colombians out there and any Venezuelans, remember, this is never about the people of the nation, unless it's maybe Somalia. It's about the actual, the government body of your countries that we're against. Right, what else have we got there? We've got Edward. G'day, mate. How are you? Anyone that this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button so you can go over and then have freedom of speech in the comments area. I don't care if you're nasty. Just don't be nasty at the people in the actual comments area, We've got Spunky Monkey here. Sorry, we've got Hollywood here. Evening, chaps. And I'm going to have to go to the glasses, the spectacles of wisdom, before we go on to the entertaining show. Archie Kerr. Mate, I sent a message to you. I've been waiting to get a reply on Patreon so we can see how you're going, mate, and you're getting excited. He's one of our favourite people that we can't tell you too much about him right at the moment. He's not covert, he's not Delta, but he's a good lad and he's a servant of the nation. We've got Drunken Drop Bear. Afternoon, everyone. G'day, Drop Bear. Good to have you here. Jenny G from up north. We've got Foxhound. Used to work with him, Hola, como estás to you. For those that don't know, I used to have a rifle company of Colombian soldiers working with me, for me, over in Sinai Peninsula beside Israel. And they were beautiful people. Not a really big amigo of the white man, especially with Americans. But once they found out you're Australians, we don't have a pass with them. They actually loved us, and I loved them. Here's some facts that we're going to start with once we get kicking. So you know some things about Venezuela that is absolutely incredible. Their population is only 30 million, so they're basically the same as Australia, but more than a third of their country has been starving, or has had a minimum amount of food and ultra hyperinflation since like 1998 when Chavez came in and then handed over to Maduro. They are stoked that they are gone. We're seeing people who have had their entire life under socialism, going from, I believe, the 7th richest country in the world to one of the poorest, all because of the narco leaders of their country that also were illegitimate leaders. G'day, mate, but well done from the Delta and the 160th and all forces who helped. It is incredible, Navy XDF, absolutely incredible. Before we go on with this information, could you imagine what it was like for those Delta operatives in this today's global, what would we say, playground, so to speak, when someone came in and said, "We want the most serious guys in here, come in, sit down, no phones, and mission, prepare to copy. This is the concept. We're going to go and steal an illegitimate country's dictator, by the slowest means possible out of a helo, and we're going to nab him from a military base. And all you've got to do is get through his inner sanctum of guards, which I believe were Cuban special forces, all KIA at the moment, unless they're zombies now. And these guys come away from another nation, stealing the dictator, and didn't lose anyone. absolutely incredible. This should scare the living shit out of anyone that is considering going against the US. We've got a whole bunch of reels we're about to show you in a second. Get you motivated, make you want to do a goddamn push-up. You know, if you're in jail, you need to break out. You need to be here tonight. You need to subscribe right now. If you don't, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Okay, here's some information for you. So, you know, and I hope you like Maduro in the background with his flag there. 30 million people, so just a little bit more than Australian. You know, we've got travellers are not permitted into Venezuela. That's an interesting one. It's got the highest amount of oil reserves with more than 303 billion barrels, which leads to the next point, which is going to be extremely interesting. Let us know, without looking at Grok or ChatGPT, how much do you think the average price of petrol is in Venezuela? Who's going to be first? Nicky Jerd, how you going, mate? We need to have a talk soon, my man. Hey, Kaz, g'day. Chat. Dave says, some NCO walked to Delta. Who's got a Venezuelan motorbike licence? Yeah, absolutely. Come on, guys. Who is it? What is the average price of fuel? You're about to get goddamn jealous, you know, in Venezuela. What do you reckon? I'm about to tell you. But let's see if any of you can beat me to it. Okay, in 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13, 12, 11, 10, average length of sex with Kaz, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, is it too slow? You could never please a woman with that sort of speed. Okay, and that is the average price of petrol in Venezuela is 1 cent. Australians would still complain about the fuel prices, but 1 cent. Breddy, that's 10 times more. 10 cent. I'd be happy with that. I'm a diesel boy, but what I want to get to this one in a minute because this is incredible. Most corrupt country in all of the Americas and the third most corrupt country in the entire world. You know, on Christmas Day, you know, the people of Caracas, their main, the capital of Venezuela, all the streets get shut off so that people can put on roller skates, not roller blades to the LGBT that are sneaking in, you know, roller skates so they can skate to early mass. You know, it's incredible. So we've seen 30 cents by Hollywood, 18 cents by Navy XDF, right at 1 cent. Incredible. Right, what else? Right, they've also got the tallest slum in the world, a 45-story building that was unfinished that had more than 3,000 homeless in it. There was also a mega shopping centre, you know, that was unfinished, was meant to be there for 300 stores and ended up becoming ultimately a slum. Then it became, I believe, a hospital of sorts, then a police station, and then a torture chamber. For those that don't know, the crime is off tap in Venezuela. Now, it is so dangerous. I believe it had one of the highest levels of gun violence in the world. But this is the one that is incredible about their ecosystem and the beauty of it. I could get a 9-cent bag of lollies. Bam. Righto. There is a thing called the everlasting storm that happens. And because Venezuela is considered the most electrified country in the entire world with their ecosystem. And what happens is, for 260 days a year, storms hit Venezuela. You know? But what happens in there is storms that go up to 9 hours at a time, where every 1 to 2 seconds, there's a lightning either strike or lightning flare. You know? Over 28 flares a minute for 9 hours, 260 times a year. Incredible, probably unless you live there. It's like being an Australian going, I wish I lived in a country with snow. Right? I'm not talking about your average Friday night to all you snorters. Okay, so there's a few factors for you, and it's only about half an hour by fast air from Miami, okay, to make it to Venezuela. They're also using their oil reserves with a shadow fleet that assists Russia with selling crude oil. You know, they're also helping China, and they're also helping and funding with Iran. Now, the money that goes from the oil doesn't go to the Venezuelan people, right, which is the reason why they're so poor now, socialists, Now, this is what happens. The money does, in fact, go to, I believe, some corporate families, including Maduro, which also uses drugs, as one of his major GDPs. We've got Alan here. Great to see you here, Alan. As we know, it's one of my favourite names, having lost an uncle. 2020's policy debates recently, as 2024, 2025, have been renewed. Suggestions in Senate committee for the nationalisation of Australia's oil and gas sectors to maximise economy returns for the public. I'm a big believer in that. I don't believe that anyone should be able to own, whether it be Aboriginal or whether they be rich, able to own those assets. Those assets should be funneled through Australia, and we should have a dramatic drop in our fossil fuels, in our petrol, diesel, etc. We probably have a quiz for Venezuela now. Funny you say that, Navy, because already there is paid protests happening across New York, and you're about to see it in a second on video. We've got Adam. I'm average across the board. So am I. So am I. But I am back to the gym, so watch out, ladies. Get your finger nice and strong so that you can swipe right. They've tried to join BRICS a few times too, I reckon. Yep. I think they have too there, Hollywood. We've got Dave. Venezuela was supplying 5% of China's total oil. That's a lot. Happy New Year. Absolutely, Alan. And a Merry Christmas to you, mate, but not with roller skates on if we're in Caracas, which sounds like you've been kicked in the nuts at a skate park. All right, let's not stuff around, Kaz. Let's get to it. And let's have a look at some of the things, bam, that we've got. Now, this guy's I'm not going to show you just the positive. I'm going to show you some of the mental health freaks, righto, that are on board with the Democrat Party. Honestly, guys, if there is millions of people in the streets in Venezuela cheering and singing, why would you be in a country, having never been to Venezuela, righto, crying because of what's occurring? The downfall of a socialist scumbag. So let's have a look what's going on. And this one is going to entertain you. When I saw this, it entertained me. I'm not here to waste your time, team. And you're going to give it a rating out of 10 in the comments. Let's see if we can get anyone subscribed to the channel. It's not hard. All right, let's go. Let's go. This guy, he gets a loser stamp. The cringe is deep. Here we go.
Stole Maduro. They stole him out of his bed.
They stole Maduro.
In his pajamas. Trying to run one of the few socialist nations on earth, and they stole him like a hawk stealing a rabbit. It's not okay to break international law. It's not okay to enact war without congressional approval.
Can everyone see there's something wrong with this guy? You can just tell you don't want him near children.
You will be impeached for this, Orange Man. Do you understand? This is not okay. This is not allowed. We will not allow this as the American people. It's not okay. You can't just steal presidents out of thin air.
Well, apparently you
democratically elected presidents, you can't just
not.
Take them. They're not yours to take.
Just did. Look at him. There's no hair to rub his fingers in.
He was trying to lead a nation. He was trying to deliver the promises of a better world.
Bullshit.
But no, we can't have that now. Give him back. Just give him back. Give him back tomorrow. Give him back, or we will impeach you.
He wants a refund.
And your party, your neocons, will never, ever be in power, ever again. I guarantee it. This is not what anybody finds acceptable. This is the last straw. Give him back.
Can everyone tell this guy would probably hate Christmas too? He'd hate it. And meanwhile, he's saying this from America, while this...
Venezuela at 2.
Oh, this is a good
2 or
one to
3 in the
see,
morning.
actually, team. Check this out. Wait a second. This is what's happening in Venezuela, right? Well done, Venezuelan people. Okay, so now look what's happening in America. Are we going to start seeing brown lives matter? Is Black Lives Matter gone? Is Ukraine gone? Is trans lives gone? This is the new franchise. This fella's on top of it too.
Riddle me this, Batman. Explain to me how, after Trump goes into Venezuela in the middle of the night, a couple of hours later, in New York, you have an organized march with thousands of people with banners, signs, flags, and the signs are all matching. They've all been printed. They were at the same print press. Who's working overtime? Who's setting this up? Are these guys paid? Like, there is no way that you can get all these people and have all these signs.
What do you reckon is going to be next, Navy XDF? Do you reckon it's going to be Iran flags? Do you reckon it's going to be maybe China? I don't want to give you the wrong idea, if you know what I'm talking about. I just get scared they're going to come and take Albo or Penny Wong.
Overnight. I'm sorry, and not even a couple of hours. These people were out in the morning. Trump was going to Venezuela at 2 or 3 in the morning. And these people were out about, 7, 8, 9? Organized? Bro, who's doing this? This is great. I'm sorry. This is not organic. Not one freaking bit is this organic. And they were all over Times Square. Like, look at this. Look at these signs. Perfect. All matching. Listen, if they were handwritten, fine. But they're printed. And they have long banners as well. Look at this. This is great.
What I believe you're seeing, let us know what you think. I think you're seeing the last dying screams of the left. How can they get every single thing wrong every time, undefeated in their losses? It's incredible. Yep, absolutely right, Adam. It stands out a goddamn mile away, and I believe paid, what would you call it? Disharmony is traitorous to the village, to the nation, and I believe that it should be punished at the highest levels. Where did they buy a Venezuelan flag before 5 a.m.? Good point. Bloody good point. Probably from the 5 to 10 million that have evacuated Venezuela. Right. This is a good one.
FBI, open up!
Please. Yes, peace. Yes, peace. Peace for the better. Peace for the better. She pass.
Man, it's
their political agenda and goes against Trump.
It's incredible at the moment, what's happening. And they expect you to believe it. That is the weirdest thing of all. The thing is, if you look at history, you only get to go at your people as a dictator once. You don't normally get to run it back, so to speak. Countries get to their highest point, right, during their empire building, etc. And from there, what happens is when they decline, you don't tend to see them ever come back again. Greece, Rome, where else? Syria, There's a whole bunch of different places. Is America starting to fall at the moment? Maybe America's turned around and they're back off the lip, and they're saving themselves. Don't know. This young lass is very pretty. I wish she wouldn't eat while she's actually doing a video, but
States military into Venezuela last night to kidnap Maduro and his wife to somewhere. We don't know where they are. We don't know if they're alive. And now Trump has announced that the U.S. is going to temporarily take over control and operations of Venezuela.
White liberals in America are complaining about Nicolas Maduro, while Venezolanos in Venezuela are out celebrating that their dictator is gone. If this doesn't tell you how evil and disturbed white liberals in America are, I don't know what will. They're willing to allow an entire country to be exploited as long as it fits their political agenda and goes against Trump. Think about that. Nicolas Maduro publicly rigged elections, killed his own people, had actual re-education camps, made anybody who opposed him disappear. And this is who they're defending now. Believe me, I was worried when Trump said that the United States would oversee the transition of power in Venezuela. But here's a reality that no one wants to admit. Maduro didn't just destroy Venezuela. He destroyed the entire system of checks and balances. He replaced the courts, institutions, everything with loyalists. This isn't one bad leader. This is a government gutted from within. Because of this, if we don't step in, the people who committed the corruption will be the exact same ones choosing who investigates it. The power is not going to return to the people. It'll just rotate to another loyalist from the same corrupt machine. But when these people say stay out, they're not saying stay out because it benefits Venezuelans or they care about what happens to them, because clearly Maduro was the worst thing that could have happened to him. Maduro was getting rich while starving his own people. A credible transition isn't about America controlling Venezuela. It's about preventing a total collapse. It's about less violence, fewer mass migrations, and giving Venezolanos a chance to stay in the country they love instead of being forced to flee from it. Scrutinize everything. Go ahead. Absolutely. I encourage it. But pretending that walking away fixes anything, that's how failed states stay failed states.
I actually didn't know about that Navy protest in Sydney yesterday. People had the tea towels, the David Jones sponsorships, and if you had globalised intifada, but the police arrested the guy singing USA, USA and God bless Trump. It's out of control. We're going to pay a price soon if we're not careful, because it does not seem to matter what a good job that Donald Trump does. You know, people will raise up against him for their own mental health or whatever is happening inside their head, Trump derangement syndrome, whatever it is. But Australia, they're our strongest ally. They're the only country that came and helped us when our shores were in danger. The only ones. Now, all we need to do is mirror what they do, become a nationalist country. And don't get that wrong. What I mean is that you put your tribe first, right? Where everything should be about the betterment of your people first. Still assist your allies, you know, but they're not going to come and help you the next time you're in trouble if they find out all you're doing is talking behind their back. You know? I do not understand what our leadership is doing. You know, and anyone with good conscience, you could never vote for him again. You know, this is a video that I absolutely love, and this is the picture. You know, it cannot be clearer than this. This is, where is he?
Not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
It doesn't get much better than that team. Pete Hegseth, well done. Marco Rubio, incredible. You know, if you want to watch a little bit of what it looks like when the leadership of a country loves its own country, that's them. And I really hope that this goes to fruition and we actually see the people of Venezuela, you know, get the oil money, you know, their fossil fuels, their assets, their gold reserves, etc., that these things, the money flows back and helps the people. And we see the people that were economical and refugees out of Venezuela come back to their homeland. Are our fuzzy wuzzies? Yep, I believe that too, Adam. Alan says, "G'day, Kaz at all. President Trump said the bullets were flying at the helicopters. As they landed, a helicopter was shot up and some soldiers injured, but all got home all well." It's incredible. You know, basically a 1 hour potential war out. This goes to show you that when they did the withdrawal out of Afghanistan, out of the Kabul airfield instead of Bagram airfield, where they also got to see that there was thousands of Taliban concentrated moving towards Kabul, but that was done without interdiction, without any prosecution by American assets. Man, that was as dodgy as it gets. It's the dodgiest thing I've ever seen. All our gas is getting given away to oil minerals. We aren't that different from them here in Australia, mate. I absolutely agree with you. We discussed this a little bit earlier today, there, AWOLs do. We said it's time that Australians got to absorb the profits of the wealth that's created by our natural assets, whether it be uranium, whether it be oil, whether it be any of the myriads of resources that we have here. Yep, so I totally agree with you. Timor, West Papua, etc. This is why I believe that I'm really a fan of what's happening as well in Venezuela, is the fact that having been part of the first guys on the ground in East Timor in 1999, that we got to liberate East Timor, from the Indonesians, and saw the happiness on their face as they built small huts for us to set up our machine gun posts so we could protect their villages at Ada Basalala, Balabo, Bobonaro, and Marco and Mimo, and so many other places we went to. It was incredible, and I hope they're really, really doing well. What I don't like is their cruelty to animals over there. The way they treat dogs, I don't want to talk about it. Some of the ways they treated their cattle, again, a sin. Our minds. G'day there, Wasp. How you going, mate? We're just going through some of these. The next one's going to be dedicated to the Wasp.
Now think.
Where are we? Wait a second. This one, I hope the music doesn't get us taken down. Have a look at these pilots. And I know this has probably got nothing to do with the Venezuelan situation, but look at these guys. We've got some pilots in our Patreon, actually. It'd be interesting to see if this is just something for the music or something they actually do as they're preparing for the hype of their mission. Good timing. Bam. So much respect. Yep. This one. Trump just showed every liberal Democrat what a real no-kid celebration looks like. Look at those people. Is there enough toilets for them? That looks like a Metallica concert in Russia. 1.6 million. That's beautiful to see. There'd be someone there with a lower bowel disease that no one knows about. Okay, that's AI. This one's funny. What do you guys got to say first? That's Simon Powell going to the buffet. Maybe. Operation Just Cause 2.0. Dobby scouted their defences. US firepower at its best. Mate, it is incredible. There is no nation on earth, none, that can stand up to the US might. And we need to remember that when we be dickheads, because we're a country of 27 million, less than Venezuela, you know, man, you don't want those guys on your bad list. Here we go.
Hola amigos, yo soy su nuevo presidente, el señor Donaldo J. Trumpo. Your ex-presidente, el señor Maduro, is no longer your presidente. He kept talking shit, you know, and fucking around, though, and he ultimately found out, though. Anyway, we're going to make Venezuela grande again. Mucho grande. El bigger y el better than ever before. We're going to drill, baby drill. We're going to have a big, beautiful fiesta, all the tacos you want. Mucho mariachi, sexy mamacitas, and delicious margaritas. And President Trumpo is going to be el DJ, okay? Muchas gracias, muchachos. Y let's make el Venezuela grande again. Arriba el Venezuela, amigos. Hola, amigos.
I love it. I love it. Okay, what else we got? You've got to love these things. I love that guy. I reckon he's winning. He has to be the one that's winning. This is, team, in case you don't know what's going on, look, some of these might be set up for fame, for clicks, whatever. I don't know. But the videos that really, you know, infected my heart, got some emotion out of me, was ones that you're about to see now. And you've got to remember, a lot of these people have only ever known what it's like to be under dictators' rule, with death squads in the streets for people, okay, who are dissenting, disappear, or get killed outright. Okay? So when these people find out that maybe, just maybe, there's a chance at a normal future, you know, and every time you see someone in Venezuela, which is a high drug narco location, whenever you see people that are saying, we want Maduro back, he was good, he was great, just remember, you know, the biggest bullies have friends too. These are vampire familiars that were probably part of those regimes. They may be paid as well. They might be doing it because of Stockholm Syndrome and they're scared shitless, you know. But a lot of these people are profiting, and the people that are eating from the trough, you know, and don't share the values of the people of their nation. Okay, let's have a look. This is someone getting told for the first time, you know, that Maduro is gone. So good.
Estamos saliendo de una de las peores ratas de Venezuela.
La captura de Nicolás Maduro y su esposa, hoy son libres.
Look at that. I'm telling you now, team, when you go to join the army, you normally join it for some sort of, what would we say? Not selfish, but you don't exactly know why you're doing it. But when you've been in a bit longer, when you've been overseas and you've seen the hardship that people are exposed to, this is the thing that can keep you in, to be part of something greater, to be part of future operations that become history, so that one day you can be on a Sean Ryan show, so that you can be saying, I will be the soldier that talks about what I did, what I saw, what I heard, you know, because if we don't tell of our experiences, then what happens is that has to be relearnt. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. God bless these people. Look at that. Jesus. They should be showing this to the mother effers, you know, who think that this is bad, what's happening with Maduro. Show them this. Oh, sorry. This is Penrith, you know, on Dole Day. Look at this one. I haven't seen this. It says, that's what I'm talking about. Love you, Australia. This is fine-looking Australian man wants Trump to invade Australia.
Just putting it out there for President Trump in the US of A. Most people in Australia just want to point out that, yeah, we have probably the most gold deposits and oil deposits in the world.
He's inviting him in.
Along with silver, lithium, uranium. We've got pretty much most of the world's natural resources here in Australia. The other thing we do have is Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. So we won't discourage an invasion. We don't, and we certainly don't have the arms to hold off any of your SEAL Team 6. So, you know what I mean? Come on over. Come on.
It's a common sentiment. It is a common sentiment. Is there anyone that actually feels like our management, not leadership of Australia, actually cares or loves its people? No. That one's AI team. You're not supposed to show AI on the videos team. I don't know what this one's going to be about. You know, this could be one of Donald Trump's legacy moments, I believe, to free a nation like this. You know, people get angry about him with what's happening with Ukraine and Russia. It's outside his hands. But he's the only one that's trying to get peace. Where are we? This guy is a legend, Marco Rubio. I don't know what happened when he went against Donald Trump and he was called Little Marco, but now they call him Big Marco, and he's earned his spot. He actually looks like what you'd expect a Mexican president to look like, who's working with the cartels in a game of House of Cards episode.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when he tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take. This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is.
This is such a good message. And what I hope is that people take up the fiery brand and this becomes the winner's franchise that takes all of the peace-loving people, you know, all of the people that God-fearing, family-loving, common sense spewing individuals who make it not about themselves, you know, who make it about the village first. A bit of kumbaya, if you will. I love it. Absolutely love it, and we need more of it, and we need to continue for the next 30 years because common sense at leadership level across the Western world is a goddamn disgrace. Keep going, Marco.
Not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, you know, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States, and the president addressed it. There's a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy, but instead he wanted to play big boy. And so now, you know, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And but I think the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that, I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
Okay, so we've got Jamie Bauer. Okay, for you guys rah-rahing the USA's action, don't piss and moan when Chinese decide to solve their geopolitical issues with Taiwan. The ripples in the pond reach far and wide and are a lot of times unforeseen. I agree with a little bit, but also disagree with most. There's nothing even similar to what's happening with Venezuela, which is a drug, narco-driven dictatorship with the Taiwan-China situation, which I don't believe will happen either, by the way. You know, it's completely different. You know, they're saying that they believe, China, that they have a sovereign claim to Taiwan. What America's doing is destroying, you know, the ability for a country that is partly responsible for more than 100,000 deaths a year, absolutely lampooning the USA with illicit drugs, you know, including fentanyl, right, while also giving oil, you know, to the main competitors of the USA, etc., you know, and also fueling the war efforts. So I don't think they're the same. I don't think they're the same. Everyone sits in their own corner of the ring. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't believe that China has a claim, to tell you the truth, over Taiwan. I don't think they'll make a move to do it. Do I think anyone will actually do anything about it? I don't know, Jamie. It'd be interesting. Very interesting. Especially if it's rapid. But I believe that Taiwan's threats to destroy their own semiconductors or send a missile system through the Three Gorges Dam, or for Japan to then weigh in and go, this is just what we were waiting for, you know, I wouldn't recommend to China that they do it. I really don't. What's going on? These ones are interesting. Where are we?
No se tarde en llegar, cobarde! I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
I wonder who's on the receiving end of that. Okay, let's do another couple more. Oh, here we go. So here's our protesters, our Antifa, looks like taco-eating paid protesters. Let's see what they've got to say.
How are you guys? Where are you from, guys? No? Hi, guys. No more war. Where are you from? Here. Here? And why are you protesting right now, today?
No more wars in Venezuela.
No more wars in Venezuela. And you know about the situation in Venezuela?
Yes.
What do you know about the situation in Venezuela? So, you want to give me an answer? Because we can talk. I'm not aggressive or anything. I just want to talk, actually.
Okay, we know enough about these
So
losers.
we have here...
Guys, this is happening all over the Western world. Some people organically turn up because it's a reason for them to be upset, you know, to make posts, to have some sort of group that they can belong to. But so many of them are actually paid. And I believe that it's criminal entities, and I believe it should be a crime to promulgate and to facilitate these kind of not just protests, but what would you call them? It's almost a terrorist action, a civilian terrorist action. The ones that do it for the global warming, when they throw the shit in museums on art pieces, etc., they should get the restoration bill that they'll be paying for the rest of their life on top of the social sciences degree, HEX debt that they get that they'll never pay off either, because they'll never end up with a job. Is that like Thriller? Right, we'll do one more. What's this one? All right. Well, dudes, we'll go back to you guys. So now, whatever you would like to talk about, let's do that. George Orwell taught us about the collective thinking in 1948. Yep. You know, it's someone was telling me today about one of their relatives that's been at university for nearly 10 years as a teacher, and he's about to run out of time, which means it can null and void his actual degree. And I'm thinking, if you've been at university for 10 years, imagine the amount of brain rot that you would actually have. You wouldn't even be able to come back from it. And I don't necessarily mean female, I mean more male. Because when you're a male in a education facility, in particular if you're not doing STEM, then there's a great chance the only way you're going to get what your biology wants from the opposite sex, you'll only get that if you skip to the beat, you know, of the propaganda that they vomit. You know, so if you've been doing that towing the line, compelled speech for 10 years, by the time you come out of it, you're not even going to know who you are. It's incredible. Tyler, welcome to the Great Unwashed, my man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good to have you in the membership. Let's throw you a, where are we? We'll give you a North-Sea cow. We'll give you a White Warrior for this one, mate. And you're at the rank of private now. Well done, sir. Well done, Mr. Tyler. Now get down and give me one. A lot of people can't do one. Adam says, many are lost and quite a few are on the fences. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what to think because they get attacked by those that still watch Channel 7, 9, 10 and ABC with a COVID mask on, even when they're at home by themselves. In between having a cigarette. Doesn't make sense to me. Hey, Grumpy, here you go, mate. Hey, mate, what a bloody mess. Stay strong. I will, mate. How can you feel sorry for yourselves, guys, when you've got Delta Force out there locking, loading and going and shoplifting, you know, dictators from other countries? What legends? What do you got? What a mess. Absolutely.